who it is, your favorite YouTuber. In that right? I really hope so. Okay, guys, so I am really happy for today's TIS because I have nothing planned and I really love that to go on the fly. Yes, I do like that, and I'm not joking. I just have one small problem, and there you go. I'm really not thinking. Yes, there you go. I hope you can see the TIS logo up. Nope, up here. And you must see that my whole setup is different. I will tell you why just after our intro. It's been time since I saw this. Well, hey everyone, welcome to TIS. If you don't know what TIS is, TIS basically stands for The Info Sunday. So, yes, so basically in TIS, I share different kinds of information that I want to share. For example, it can be anything from a robotic project that I love, or how can you use Python to develop your day or make your day more productive, or I can even share topics on productivity, or like today have no topics on my mind and just say what I want to say. So usually I do love to research some topics, but this month, the whole month has been so busy. I barely had even time to breathe. I'm not joking. So first of all, I came back from my vacation from my hometown and it was awesome. I removed a whole good video which I'm never going to upload, which is never going to see the sunlight because it did not meet up to my standards, the standards that I set myself in order to make my videos better. So yes, the reason I'm not uploading it is obvious. I just didn't find it's something that you would wanna watch. And by the way, this room and this setup is going to be one of the main topics today. And I'm also going to share a small thing that I really wanted to share from a long time. So stay tuned till the end. So yeah, another thing that I wanted to say is um, don't expect much more vlogs. Just let me know if you want vlogs, but I'm not thinking to share more vlogs on YouTube for an obvious reason. I don't have the time to shoot them because I'm really packed. I also have my exams, and I'm not joking. I want to be honest with you. I don't know what the syllabus is. No one knows what the syllabus is. They said the basics of 11th, which means nothing because our 11th portion is not yet started, and I was not able to attend college for 2 weeks since my vacation. So I am basically really thinking on how can I tackle that problem. So yeah, I really wanted to tell you this. The thing that I brought it here is I know a lot of people who literally study a day before the exam, like me myself. Yes, I used to, not in 10th or ninth standard, but in 8th standard due to some personal problems I couldn't attend to school, so I had to study a day before exam, and I'd say I did it pretty well. I got 80%. I hope that's not bad. I really hope that's not bad. Well, I feel it's a bit low. Anyways, so yes, I just wanted to share a technique in order how you can study in a really short time. The thing that I will be doing tomorrow and day after tomorrow, because my exam is on Thursday. The next day after Ganesh Chaturthi. Yes, and honestly, this is the first time our portion is divided into chemistry, physics, so it's going to be a bit different than usual exam. Let me get back onto topic. So the best way you can tackle anything is not by reading something, by rather understanding something. So I would say videos are much better than reading books, and I know that's in title, books, three exclamation marks. I thought it would be interesting. Yes, so it would be much more interesting to watch a video than probably read a book. And of course, I say this, books save you time, videos save you knowledge, kind of. Let me explain. So when you watch a video, it's more engaging than reading a book because someone is there explaining to you, like me. Like I'm just saying, like I'm explaining it to you right now. So watch videos when you want to cover something that's long in short times, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have oversimplified it, or at least simplified it enough that you can learn it probably anything in 2 to 3 hours. But I really suggest to study from a long time. I couldn't do it because I was extremely busy this month, and it is not going to be continued when my 11th standard starts. Education is one of my main priorities too. Yes, So another technique to read anything fast if you don't want to watch videos is in books. In physics, everyone knows that formulas are extremely important. So without memorizing the formulas, you can just memorize what they mean, and formulas just come in very handy. Now this trick is not for everyone, it's mostly for me, because for me, if you want to know something, it's just better to understand what it is, and usually definition, meaning, summaries all just come to me, including the diagrams. If you have a huge diagram, just understand what the diagram is doing, not its labels or how it is structured. Because once you know what it is, for example, a electric motor, if you understand how does it work, your brain will automatically create a structure which is logically correct, and at least you will get half credit, even if you can't label them all, but the basics you can label, which you create, such as magnet, the wire, the A B C D sections, and rest of the things that you have in a motor. So yes, sorry, not a yes, actually a motor. So that's two techniques. I really hope they will be helpful for me tomorrow and after tomorrow to study after I finally go to college after my 2 weeks. Yes, one more thing that I wanted to share is why this setup looks different. First of all, I got this new, I guess you can say, watch. I really love this watch because I have always loved a futuristic look, and this is completely white in color. It's reflective, it has different kind of methods, and it is reflecting my bedroom and how unclean it is. So yes, I really love that watch, and I always wanted to add a watch to my setup because you will know what time it is easily, and it's also helpful for me to know what time is going on in live and which time is in real life, because there is a small difference between those two time. It could be minutes, it could be seconds, sometimes maybe milliseconds too, but I usually set it to be a minute, just in case there is something that I do something wrong and I immediately stop the stream, so that that minute is saved. Okay, so that's the thing about that. And one more thing, I am going to change the setup next time too, because I want a setup that's perfect. And one more thing that I'm really happy about is finally I got myself studio. Yes, this is my studio. This room is going to be my studio. I'm really excited. I will be shooting a lot of my videos mostly here, probably in different sections and different sections of my house too, but most of the videos where I just talk like I'm doing right now, I'm going to do it here. I don't need to change it every time. Before that, for every single TIS, I had to move this table back, then add this chair, then set up all the things that I want. But now, in case if I want something, I can just grab it from here, like this microphone that I recently brought, and just throw it on the floor, or my fan, or my hard disk, and everything is just here. I really love it. I will cue you a studio tour as soon as I finish setting it up. I'm not sure if it is going to be a perfect studio tour, because this is not a complete studio, but it's enough for me for now, kind of enough for me. Yes, so that's the thing that I wanted to talk about the setup here. One more thing that I wanted to talk about, this book set. Why is this here? This is not going to be a part of the book set, I mean my studio. The reason that I brought this here, because I wanted to tell you that I completed all three books, Lord of the Rings, I am entire series, and I wanted to ask if you want a review on them, because I'd love to do that, because last reviews didn't get a lot of views, so I just figured you are not interested in it, so I stopped reviewing the books in terms of shorts, reviewing a book under a minute. But I'm still going to continue my journey in reading the top 100 books in the entire world before I turn 21 years old. So yes, I just wanted to share a few things about Lord of the Rings, because I have it on my table, because I brought it on my table myself. So I am not joking, I am not completely impressed by these books. I mean, like, I am impressed about how big the idea is, how big the world is, and how well every single character has been. But it's not for me, because I just feel the story is way too complex when it shouldn't need to be. I mean, I'm not saying the book is bad at all. It's a great book and a read for anyone and everyone, but the English is also a bit too different than we are used to. Then I'm not saying like kid level or adult level age, but just for example, different than the book Hobbit. I don't know why I felt that, but I really love the Hobbit so much rather the Lord of the Rings. And The first book was actually nice. I read it completely in 2 weeks. No, first book took me a month because I was not able to read it. The third book is quite great too. It's actually, this book looks this big, but in actuality, half, or actually around page 1400 to page, come on, where is the page numbers? 1600 is just index and appendix and all the other books that author has written, all the world maps and etc. So the book is really easy to write. I mean, sorry, easy to read. If you think that this book is this fat, it's honestly not. And if you are a huge fan of Hobbit, I really hope that you will love this book set too. One of the reason I did not like the Lord of the Ring is I did not see Bilbo more. I know that he is not the main character, but it's just so that Bilbo is a character that I'm more not associated, more that I love than Frodo. I know his Frodo is his nephew and he's a quite great character too. I really love his qualities, but Bilbo is more funny to me. I mean, he seems funny and nice to me, and the book is also more well written than Lord of the Rings. That's the only thing. Please do not kill me if I say I did not like Lord of the Rings, because I do, and I'm not joking. I did like the book, but please do not kill me, Lord of the Rings die hard fans. Okay, so yes, one more thing, I sold a few copies of my planner off the bat. It was really nice that a lot of people were buying it. Well, not a lot, but a few of people were buying it. I really liked that they liked the book and they understood the usage of it. And I'm not joking, I may use your boring planner for a productive day rather than the current planner that I use. Well, it will take some time to change from this planner to that, because I already am using that planner and I have a few copies. I need to complete them because I already brought them, because I did not have the plan to make a planner. I should have made the plan to make a planner, then made a plan to not buy them, which would have been a better plan. Now this was a great sentence. So yes, yeah, by the way, I also missed my TIS last week, because last week in I actually took my laptop with me to do the TIS. But what happened exactly is that when I went to my hometown on Sunday, we went out of the house of 7 o'clock and came home at 11:30. So you can know how exhausted I was. One more thing that I wanted to talk about is a bit of robotics, because I love robotics and I just can't stop talking about it. So yes, the thing about robotics that I wanted to talk in accuracy is again the projects in robotics that you can make. So I found out a few more projects that you can make. I cannot get up from here, or I was just working on a robotic project, I would have shown it to you. So a robotics project in this in the terms that I was talking about is, one of them is store opener. So as you see in real life, there are many problems that you can solve, all the way from picking up this book. It could be a real problem that you can solve. Now just try this. This is a random example. Can you pick this book off the table and just keep it aside? I mean, you have to lift it, not shift it. So yes, can you do that? Just think how hard it is to do that, and it should be automatically programmed. And even if I keep this book here, it should be able to detect it. Now that requires advanced programming, and I know it's not easy at all. That's why I told you an example of that, because a lot of people underestimate small things take time. It's not easy to make a small robot or a big robot. It depends on your level experience. So for example, I made a game called Skee Ball. You must be familiar with it. It's a game where you ski is not where you throw a ball into a board. I actually made a different kind of a ski ball. It just has the holes and not the runway, I guess, where the ball actually runs. It directly goes into the hole. Well, some people love that and some don't. Some says it's way too basic. You just cut out few holes in cardboard and you're calling it a project. It's not that simple, you know. I had to set it up with IR sensors, then I had to take the data. I also learned about EEPROM in Arduino because of that project, because I wanted to store the high score. Now I have removed all the electronics from it, and it's just currently a cardboard box, as some have suggested, with holes in it. And I still love it very much because it is honestly really fun to play that game. And the reason that I removed the electronics is not because they don't work, because I'm afraid that I will break them. I mean, with the electronics, the project goes to 2800 rupees, and if one ball misses, that might hit up a wire or Arduino or the power supply, which may damage it. So, yes, that's what I'm saying. Small projects to you, or may seem big projects to you, but they just may not seem time worthy for others. Do something, do projects in which you learn something. Like I learned EPROM in this, some saying small project, but I really love it, so it's my choice. So do small projects in which you will learn. Now I'm not saying that connect a LED to a battery and call it a project, no. But if you do learn something in that project, like for kids it may be wiring, if they do learn something, then it's always worth a shot, no matter how big or a small is a project. And always remember, you have to repeat yourself again and again with the same code a lot of times, so it's just best if you create templates. For example, motor movements, so I have a template for motor movements, so that I don't need to copy, I mean I don't need to write that every single time. I can just copy it. And as I always say, copy something only if you know and understand that program. Yeah, this is the first time that I have taken a water break in last 3 TISs. Yes, I mean with water bottle. Okay, so that was the thing that I wanted to talk about robotics programming. And let's get back on the topic of books. The reason the whole topic I wanted to talk about books is because I love them, and I can go off on the fly and talk about them in just like without scripting it or without topicking it. I mean, without creating topics for it. I don't script my TISs completely. I do a lot of stuff on live. Yes. So the thing that I wanted to talk about books is how you can write your own books. I have seen a lot of people who say that I'm going to write the next best novel, or the people also who say that I'm going to write a short story and it is going to be so easy. Honestly, it is easy to write a book if you have the exact idea, but you get to the part which is the hardest thing in a book, the middle. The start can be great, the end can be great, but people are only going to read it if the middle is great. So a lot of people, when they write books, think about the start. Even I am writing my own book. Oh my god. Well, I basically, oh my god. Okay, so let's skip that. Let's think that never happened. The thing about writing books is that when people do decide to write them, they think what is going to be the start and what is going to be end, and maybe a bit about the middle. But what matters the most is the middle and the end, because people will just think that the start is a bit boring. They will keep on reading to find if there is something good, and once they keep the hatch, or they get to the middle, you just hook them up with the middle good stuff. And at the ending is very important. It's the most important part of a book, because at the end, when they read the last page, they should feel satisfied. They should feel that they have valued that time instead of just wasting on a book, because next time they're going to see your name, they're just going to skip that book right up. Now I'm not a professional writer, I just am telling a few tips. So yes, so in order to make your middle more good or more better, three things you can do is no sorry three things you shouldn't do. Make the make the middle boring, and you do that by basically writing stuff that isn't necessary. Anything that happens is in the book should be necessary for the plot. If it isn't, just remove it. I'm not saying that every single thing, every single dialogue, maybe a few things can be out of the plot, but not very much, because that would drag the user, I mean drag the reader away. Second thing that you shouldn't do in the middle is creating a lot of subplots or a lot of plots and just not exploring them enough. Create one main plot, add a few subplots to it, explore them enough that the user will feel satisfied, or user let the user explore himself. If you just say that something happened or something happened, and that really doesn't connect how the I mean that really doesn't connect to the main plot at all, that's just basically not a good book. One more thing is, don't give what if way too many times. A few what if, like okay, the person was going to die but he didn't, he got on the last train on the day, it's fine. If you give it a lot more, like in the middle, if there are 20 to 30 what ifs, what if, it just keeps getting boring. You should keep the story on a cliff, but not way too many cliffs. I mean, in sense, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but those are things you shouldn't do. And what should you do is basically make it more interesting by writing a lot more of action, drama, character arcs. Make the character go upward. Give a small villains or small projects for the person to do or your character do. Give him small tasks, small ideas that he can do, because when he has small goals he will complete those goals, and those goals should be related to the plot. So for example, singing in front of a huge crowd may be a goal for the your character, because at last he may have a huge concert that he needs to perform in order to do something else. So because he has sung before, his confidence has been a little boost, and then you can refer at the end that come on, other character can say, come on, you can do it, you have done it before. So you need to refer to the middle part. That's why middle is also very important, and some people just miss it. Okay, so that's a lot of that's a lot of things, I guess, about the book. um, One more thing about the books is how you can use them for your own advantage. People say books are dying, and a lot of people say that. Yet they are studying in their notebooks, they're writing in their notebooks, they're reading their textbooks when they say everything will be digitalized. The truth is, no, not everything is going to be digitalized. And the reason for it is, when you read a book, it gives you a lot more satisfaction, and it's way faster than going to a PDF, because you have to open your laptop, you have to strain your eyes, you have to sit in a perfect position. Not maybe not a perfect position, but even for your phone, it's such a heavy work. Even though it's easier to find specific parts, mostly for books which are non-fiction, not novels, people use them digitally because it will be easier for them. For example, in programming, if you want to copy a code from your for example, you want to copy a code that is given in the book to your own program that you are currently writing, it would be easier to do it in digital format, as it will be a lot more faster. But if you are really reading a novel, do you really want to go to laptop and stare at it for a few hours? No, right? That's why books are not going to vanish anytime soon. And even in non-fiction, I have huge books which I do not don't want them digitalized, because I just love to get any time that I have off my laptop, because all of my work is mostly digitalized. My programming, my productivity, my managing, my YouTubing, my editing, everything is mostly in my laptop. So as much as time I can get from electronics, I would take it so much. And that's one of the reason I love reading, because you don't have to use your electronics, anything. So yes, that's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Well, today I have a lot of things that I wanted to share, but if I share them, they won't be secret, and I really want them to be a secret because for future projects. But I just wanted to share a bit on my future YouTube video, Waterinator. So basically, it's a smart plant watering system. I have also wrote a book on it, published it. It has happened 2 years, but I have never shown it completely. So I really wanted to show it how it looks and everything about it. And yeah, one more thing that funny thing that I wanted to say is, somehow I like painting. I like painting, not sceneries, not people, not objects, not anything. I just like to paint my projects. For example, a ski ball project. One of the best thing that I loved to do it in that is I got to paint it. I painted it with a single tone, but it was still very fun. And now every single project that I do, I really want to paint a lot more. I don't know why, but it just makes the project seem a lot better, I guess. And the current water needle, I also decided to paint it when I can just not paint it. It would have looked better, but I really like that. So I guess that's all the things we have for today. Thank you so much for everyone who has attended today's TIS. I really appreciate it. Wow, we have 0 viewers. Well, it's all okay because I try my best. Well, I'll meet you later and see ya.